July 20th, 1969. A strange-looking vehicle descends toward the surface of another world. Inside, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin are about to make history. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. 600 million people watched it happen. It was humanity's greatest adventure. Over the next 3 years, we went back 5 more times. 12 humans walked on the moon. We drove cars on its surface, brought back 842 pounds of lunar rock, and conducted scientific experiments. Then, on December 14, 1972, Eugene Cernan climbed back into the lunar module for what would be the last time. He thought we'd be back in 10 years. That was over 50 years ago. And we haven't been back since. We've sent robots to Mars and probes beyond our solar system, but humans have been stuck in low Earth orbit, going in circles for half a century. So why haven't we gone back to the moon? The answer isn't a conspiracy theory. It's far more frustrating. It starts with why we went in the first place. On October 4th, 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik. In America, this caused panic. The space race wasn't about science. It was about survival and proving technological superiority during the Cold War. After a series of Soviet firsts, the US looked weak. In 1962, President John F. Kennedy made a bold promise. We choose to go to the moon in this decade. Politically, it was a brilliant move. It was an ambitious goal that required the same rocket technology needed for intercontinental ballistic missiles. The moon was the goal, but rocket supremacy was the point. Congress opened the floodgates. At its peak in 1966, NASA received 4.5% of the entire federal budget. For perspective, today it gets less than 0.5%. With this funding, 400,000 people and 20,000 companies worked on the Apollo program. They built the colossal vehicle assembly building and the mighty Saturn V rocket, a 36-story behemoth that burned 20 tons of fuel per second. In just 6 years, we went from a promise to boots on the moon. And then, we won. On July 20th, 1969, the world watched as America proved its technological dominance. The mission was accomplished. Almost immediately, public support collapsed. While we were on the moon, the Vietnam War was escalating. American cities were in turmoil, and millions lived in poverty. Spending billions to collect moon rocks started to feel obscene. By 1970, only 35% of Americans thought the Apollo program was worth the cost. Congress agreed. NASA's budget was cut by 40% between 1967 and 1972. The agency had to cancel planned missions. Then, the near disaster of Apollo 13 in 1970 changed everything. An oxygen tank explosion nearly killed the crew, who survived thanks to incredible ingenuity on the ground and their own resilience. The incident highlighted the immense risks. NASA canceled the final 3 Apollo missions, citing budget cuts and an unwillingness to risk more lives. Apollo 17 became the final mission. With its shrinking budget, NASA bet on the Space Shuttle, promising cheap and routine access to space. The reality was different. The shuttle was more expensive, less frequent, and far more dangerous than promised, with 2 catastrophic failures in 135 flights. However, it deployed the Hubble telescope, built the International Space Station, ISS, and kept the space industry alive. But it couldn't go to the moon. For the last 25 years, we've been focused on the ISS, a remarkable achievement in international cooperation, but it orbits just 250 miles up. We've been going in circles. There have been attempts to go back. Presidents from Bush Sr. to Obama announced new moon programs, but they were all canceled due to high costs and shifting political priorities. Going to the moon takes longer than a presidential term, making it a difficult commitment to sustain. But something has changed. In 2022, NASA launched Artemis I, an uncrewed test of the Orion spacecraft and the Space Launch System, SLS, rocket. The most powerful since the Saturn V. For the first time in 50 years, we have real hardware capable of taking humans beyond low Earth orbit. Artemis II is scheduled to fly 4 astronauts around the moon in 2026. And Artemis III aims to land on the lunar South Pole in 2027. So why is Artemis different? First, we are far more risk-averse now, which makes everything slower and more expensive. Second, Artemis has a bigger goal: to stay. The plan includes a lunar gateway station, a permanent base, and using the moon as a proving ground for Mars. Third, private companies like SpaceX are now key partners, which adds innovation but also complexity. Finally, there's a new space race with China, which plans to land astronauts on the moon by 2030. But the ultimate goal isn't the moon. It's Mars. A mission to Mars is a 3-year journey with no quick abort. The moon, just 3 days away, is the perfect practice ground to test the technologies and systems needed for a Mars mission. The moon also has resources like water ice that could be used for rocket fuel, making it a vital staging point for exploring the solar system. So, why haven't we gone back to the moon in over 50 years? It was a combination of money, politics, risk, and shifting priorities. We went to win a race, and when we won, the will to continue faded. But this time feels different. The hardware is real, and the goal is not just to visit, but to stay. Apollo was a sprint, Artemis is a marathon. The next chapter starts soon, and this time, we're not just planting a flag. We're building a future. If you want to learn more about space exploration, we've got more videos about the science, the engineering, and the sheer audacity of leaving Earth. If you enjoyed this and want to see more of this in the future, kindly follow, drop a comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you and see you next time.